just makes it easier to upload, and just do it one take. Whatever, if I make a mistake or something, then I make a mistake, I guess, right? So anyways, the Descent of Dragons has been, all the cards have been revealed, and it's going live December 10th. Right now it is December 5th, and I actually did do a review very quickly beforehand, and I made a few mistakes. I didn't live stream it, so thankfully I just kind of deleted it. So I kind of have a generalization of what I would rate these cards, but a lot of things have changed because I did learn about some of them. So for example, it's a lot of the Galakron stuff, right? I didn't know how they worked. I didn't know how the invoke cards themselves worked. I thought it was like, oh, well, when you invoke, you're just you're paying a price for invoking your Galakron. Like, this is like the drawback. This is why you're, Galakron's really strong, but it's really strong at the price of you have to play these kind of poorly statted cards, right? Well, that's not the case. So anyways, let's just jump into it. Doing the usual Hearthstone stuff, going down the list, right? So start with Druid as always, and we got Ysera the Unleashed, 9 mana, 4/12 dragon, battlecry, shuffle 7 dream portals into your deck. When drawn, summon a random dragon. This just fits into the dragon archetype that they're trying to push. And, it's got Ysera stats, 9 mana, 4/12. It's, not too bad. And I do think that the dragon archetype is plausible in Druid. But, the thing is, drawing the dream portals just summons random ones, so it doesn't count as, like, dragons, like, in your deck. I think this is more of, like, late game towards the end of your deck than it is, like, I don't know. It's definitely not bad, but it's not anything that I'm like thinking is gonna break the meta or anything. So I'm actually gonna give it 3 stars. I think it's okay. I think it will be played, but I don't think this is like why you're building a dragon deck, for example. Next, we got Goru the Might Tree, 7 mana, 5/10 with Taunt. Battlecry for the rest of the game. Your treants have +1/+1. So I really like the treant decks. I've always liked them. This is the Ancient of War, basically the 5/10 version of Ancient of War. But you also get the Battlecry of giving treants +1/+1 for the rest of the game, right? Well, the other thing on top of that too is that I like is you get Fluminous Floop, which can be another Goru the Might Tree, and you can have your guys become +4. It's basically a 4/4 treants for the rest of the game, right? So I really think that there's a great possibility for Goru and the treant decks to become something like pretty powerful. I'm not thinking that this is going to break the game or anything, but I think this is possibly better than the dragon stuff. So I will give this actually 4 stars. Next, we got Secure the Deck, a 1 mana spell, side quest, attack twice with your hero, and you get 3 claw spells to your hand. This is the side quest new thing. So some of the classes got these side quests, about 2 of them a piece. And personally, I don't believe this side quest is really worth running. The only thing I can think of is you do some kind of Gadget Zan auctioneer style. You got 3 claws in your hand. You're able to play these for 3, card draw of 3. And whatever. Yeah, it's very easy to complete. You can attack it, whenever you want. It's nothing too special. Personally, I don't think this will be played almost at all, and I'm actually going to give this 1 star. I'm big in a 0 mana spell. Give all minions in your deck +2/+2. They cost 1 more, up to 10. So that means that the 10 mana cost cards don't go up any higher. They just get the free +2/+2. And I actually think this is pretty powerful. I think what you do is make a swarming token style deck. You play stuff from 0, 1, 2 up to 3, and probably throw in like Leroy Jenkins in there also to get the buffs. And you just try to rush down your opponent with these overly statted minions early on. And yeah, I really do think that this is pretty solid. I don't know the trade-off. I don't know if this is worth actually... I don't know if it's worth 1 mana for +2/+2. right? It probably is, because you can kind of control what you put in your deck to make it to where you're not paying over 4 mana for anything, really, other than like Leroy, which you'd pay 6 for a 8/4, and that's definitely not bad. I think that we would actually play Leroy at that still, because I mean we play him at 5 mana for a 6/2. But yeah, I think that this has a pretty good possibility. I think that we will see a lot of experimentation, and I think it's going to end up being pretty strong. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. Then we have Breath of Dreams, 2 mana spell, draw a card. If you're holding a dragon, gain an empty mana crystal. So this is, what the hell is that card called right now? Wild Growth on crack. If you're playing Dragon Druid, draw a card and you get a mana crystal. So it's unnerfed Wild Growth. So this is obviously insane if you're playing Dragon. Now, how powerful do I think the Dragons will be? I think the Dragons are going to be okay, but I don't think that they're going to be the greatest deck that you'll see. I do think that this is one of the cards that will push it over the top. And because of that, I'm actually going to give it 4 stars, because I think this is like the deciding factor card, kind of, that's going to make Dragons really good or not. I think that this spell ramps you into the really powerful Dragons. Tree Enforcements, 1 mana spell. Choose one. You either give a minion +2 health and taunt, or you summon a 2/2 Treant. This is, good flexibility, solid card. You get the Treant, and works well with other cards that, you're looking for the Treant stuff. Dendrologist, I think, is Dendrologist, whatever the hell it's called. I think is one of the cards that you'd want to play on curve. So this is a way for you to get a Treant on turn 1 along with him on turn 2, and kind of go along, in that way. So I think that the Treant stuff is going to be very powerful. So I'm going to give this 4 stars. Aeroponics, 5 mana spell, draw 2 cards, cost 2 less for each Treant you control. I just want to say, guys, this is pretty nuts in my opinion. I think what you do is you play your the 4 mana 2/3 guy that summons 2 Treants, and then after you do that, you play Aeroponics for 1 mana. So that's a really powerful turn 5 play. You get a really solid board along with drawing 2 cards for 5 mana, and I think that's like one of the go-to reasons why I think Treants are going to be so powerful, between Goro the Might Tree, Aeroponics, and that card that I can't think of, the 4 mana 2/3 guy. It's like, I think it's Garden Gnome. I think Garden Gnome's the name of it. So yeah, it is. I think it is Garden Gnome. So Garden Gnome into Aeroponics is on turn 5 is like a stupid strong turn, and I think some of that is why Aeroponics will be amazing. So I'm gonna give it 4 stars also. Emerald Explorer, 6 mana 4/8 dragon, taunt, battlecry, discover a dragon. Good body, great battlecry effect, and for a reasonable price and stuff. I think this is a pretty good card. And my only thing is I'm not still 100% sold on the dragon archetype for Druid compared to other classes, I would say. I think Druid will be fun for dragons, but I don't know. It's like up in the air. It could be pretty strong, or it's going to be okay, and I think that's what I'm going to land on. I'm going to give it the 3 stars for an okay. All right, and the final 2 is Shuru Badir, 2 mana 1/1 battlecry, summon a 2/2 Treant. This is probably the weakest Treant card in the set, and is probably going to be one of the harder ones for us to actually fit in. So I think that this one you could probably cut for the most part, but because it has that little potential for the Treant deck, and because of that, I will give it just I'm gonna give it. I'm between giving it 2 stars or 3, because I'm thinking it's either meh. It's not like a meme card. It's meh or it's okay. I think I'll just give it 3 stars, because I do think that there's a chance for it to make it into the deck because of the Treant deck being, I think, the more powerful deck that there is. So I'll do 3 stars for Shrewberdeer. And then finally, our last side quest is Strength in Numbers. It's a 1-mana spell, and you spend 10 mana on minions. And you're rewarded with summoning a minion from your deck. So I think this is probably the best side quest that you can play for Druid, obviously. And I think that this is easy enough to play. You either play a big Druid, Dragon Druid, something like that. You just throw this in there. You know at some point you're going to spend 10 mana on something, and then you get a free card. Now, your initial reaction, I think, and like my initial reaction, is to play all the big guys, so then you're getting the most value out of this card, but I don't think that that's even correct. I think if you pull out like let's just say a 3-mana 3/4 with this guy, I mean, it's a 1-mana 3/4. That's not bad at all. Just another body on the board for just playing the game how you would normally play, right? I think that makes this card very powerful, and because of that, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Overall, I do like where Druid is going, just not too sure how the Dragon archetype is going to be for Druid compared to the Treant stuff. I think Treant's going to be pretty close to be one of the top decks, but I'm not 100% sold on saying it is going to be or not, because I think there's a chance that like a lot of these other big guys can kind of sweep it away. So we'll see. Moving on to Hunter. Dragon's Mane, 4-mana 3/5 mech. After you use your hero power, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. So I actually think this is pretty good. I don't think this is like gonna blow us away, but I think it's pretty good because it can also hit the face. So if you're in a clear board, you're doing 7 damage to the face for 6 mana, along with getting a 3/5 body. It's a mech. You can magnetize it. I think the way to go for this is you build the that mech kind of, I don't know, it's like the tokeny Goblin Bomb mech deck, where you kind of just spam stuff across the board and you're trying to just burst them down as fast as possible. That's kind of my thought on it. But yeah, I think this is definitely up there. I don't know how good it's going to be. I know that mech deck is decent. Don't know where it stands right now because I haven't played the game too much in recent times. But I'll give it 3 stars. Varana, 6-mana 7/6 dragon. Battlecry, change the health of all enemy minions to 1. So you play Hunter's Mark on the entire board, along with getting a 7/6 dragon. Pretty damn solid. Now, how is Dragon Hunter going to be? We don't know, but I think just for the stats itself, subtracting the dragon aspect, I think you could play this even without being like a Dragon Hunter. So I'll actually give this 4 stars. Toxic Reinforcement, 1-mana side quest. Use your hero power 3 times, and you summon 3 1/1 leper gnomes. I think this kind of goes into the play of that mech style deck, or you're just doing face deck pretty much. You hit them in the face as much as possible, and you get 3 1/1 leper gnomes. So it's an additional 6 damage, and with a little bit of a board. I think it's okay. I think it's kind of fun. It's close to a meme card, but I think it's okay actually. So I think I'll give it 3 stars. I think it's enough pressure and enough damage. It's basically like a 1-mana fireball at some point, right? So I think that's pretty solid. Stormhammer, 3-mana 3/2 weapon, doesn't lose durability while you control a dragon. This is a very strong weapon, obviously. As I said, the biggest thing is how viable will Hunter's dragon deck going to be. Not 100% sure, but I do think that there is a possibility for this to be one of the other cards to kind of push the dragon archetype to be played to Hunter. Between Varanus and Stormhammer, I think there's a chance that we'll see a pretty good amount of people experiment with it. And, there are some decent dragon cards in the set. Along with, there's that Carrion card. It's like a 5-mana 3/7, and if you killed something that turn, you get poisonous also. I think that's actually not a bad dragon also. So maybe there is actually a possibility for it. But for now, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to give this 4 stars, actually, because I think it's that powerful. And I think if dragons are going to be a thing in Hunter, this is going to be the card that pushes it to the edge. Phase Stalker. 2 mana, 2/3 beast. After you use your hero power, cast a secret from your deck. Not a bad card at all. I think the thing about this is you're not building it with almost any other cards in the set. There's very few that I think would work with it. And essentially, if you're playing this card, you're playing like a secret hunter, and this is like one of your other ways to get the secrets out and thin your deck. It's powerful, but I think that other people are going to play other things rather than Secret Hunter in the beginning. But my guess is that this will be like just 2 new cards in an old deck that ends up doing very well early on, obviously. So I'm going to actually, man, I don't know if I want to rate this too high or not, because I do think that this is pretty powerful. I think I'm gonna rate it what I feel, and I feel like it's gonna be 4 stars. I feel like it's gonna be pretty powerful. As I said, it's kind of boring because it's already a deck that's like made, so you're just slotting in 2 cards essentially. I don't think that you even really throw too much else in from this set. Maybe Diving Griffin if you got rush minions into the secret. I haven't built a Secret Hunter, so I don't know what the current Secret Hunter decks look like. But if there's rush minions in it, Diving Griffin would be pretty solid in that also. So 4 stars for Phase Stalker. Clear the Way, another 1 mana side quest. Summon 3 rush minions, and you're rewarded with a 4/4 Griffin with rush. You summon it. It goes right on the board, right? And that's obviously very powerful. You can easily summon 3 rush minions, so this is pretty solid. How often do you play this? You can play it pretty often, but I think that I don't know, it might struggle to sometimes fit into some decks. It could fit in perfectly. It's kind of like in between. I think this is actually also pretty powerful. It's just like I did create my decks already. As if you've watched, I've done the deck creation already because I recorded the review first beforehand. Now that I've created the decks, I feel like I have an even better understanding of some of these cards. And for the dragon deck, I feel like it's kind of hard to fit this in. Not too many rush minions you can get into there. And the other decks, I mean, it does fit in pretty well, so it all depends on where it lands. So I'm actually going to give it 4 stars. I think it is powerful enough to be played, but maybe it's like a 1 of. Maybe you don't play 2. All right, I feel like I'm rating stuff very high. Diving Griffin, 3 mana 4/1 Beast Rush. Battlecry, draw a rush minion from your deck. So I think this is awesome because it's basically a Shadow Bolt with draw a card. Like draw a certain card, right? So you've got Ziliax, you got other Diving Griffins, you got Springpaw, you got the new dragon that's got 5/3 Divine Shield and Rush. There's a pretty good amount of guys that I think have possibilities, and there's obviously other rush guys too. And I think that this is a very, very powerful card. Don't know if this is like something that I'm going to call like meta defining, but it probably is the closest thing I would say. But I think I'm actually going to give it because I think this is going to make it into almost every hunter right about now, because you do play enough. Put it this way, I don't know if you play enough rush minions to make a deck around Clear the Way. Like maybe you make something and you have like just a few, so you don't want to just waste a card slot for that one side quest, right? But I do think that you play enough rush minions. I mean, you're gonna guarantee draw 1 Diving Griffin. If you play 3 rush guys, you play Ziliax and 2 Diving Griffins. Diving Griffin is gonna draw another Diving Griffin, most likely, unless you have it already in your hand. Or you draw Ziliax, and then, yeah, obviously it sucks if you don't have any rush minions, but I think there's a good enough chance for you to play it. So I'm actually going to give it 5 stars. Dwarven Sharpshooter, 1 mana, 1/3. Your hero power can target minions. Good stats, cool card text, but I don't think this is really fitting into too many things. I think it's good enough to, mess around with and tinker with, but in the end of it, I don't believe it's going to see a lot of play. So I'm going to give it 2 stars. It's meh. It's not really a meme. I think it's just meh. Final 2, we got Primordial Explorer. 2 mana, 2/3 dragon with poisonous and battlecry. Discover a dragon. This is just your dragon guy. Not really too crazy, but hey, if you're gonna play the dragon deck, you're gonna throw him in there, discover a guy, get another one in your hand. Pretty much every class has something similar to this. Well, every dragon. I don't know how to explain it. There's a lot of dragons that are like this stat line: a 3 mana 2/3 dragon with an effect plus battlecry. Discover a dragon. Now, I think this is okay, but as I said, I'm not sold on the dragon archetype, so I'm going to give it just 3 stars. A Corrosive Breath, 2 mana spell, deal 3 damage to a minion if you're holding a dragon and also hits the enemy hero. Man, this just shows how terrible that Cobra Strike or Cobra Shot, whatever it was called, back in the day was. It was 5 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion and also hit your opponent in the face for 3 damage, right? It was terrible. Nobody played the damn thing. And here we go. It's dropped by 3 mana. Just the only thing that's holding you back is you just gotta hold the dragon, right? And yeah, I mean it's solid. So, but like I said, it's very dependent on dragons, and I'm not sold on the dragon archetype and Hunter, so I'll give it 3 stars. Overall, I think Hunter has a pretty good little set though. I like how it is. I do like how Druid and Hunter are right now. I'm probably most excited for Treant Hunter. Jesus. Treant Druid, and then for Hunter, I'm probably gonna say this Toxic Reinforcement weird deck with Dragon Mane. I think that's the way I want to kind of play right now. But I also play a lot of like weird decks, so I don't play like the super serious stuff. And you got Mage, Malygos Aspect of Magic. So Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, discover an upgraded Mage spell. It's a 5 mana 2/8 dragon. So we're actually going to go over here quick. Let me just do this. Sorry. Get this situated for you guys. So come over here and I'll type this in because the only way for me to actually show you what the card is, like well, not what the card is, but the actual. Oh my God! Why did it just do that? To show you the other cards that it has, right? So these are the tokens that you can discover, the upgraded mage spells that it talks about, right? So you can get a Malygos Explosion, 2 mana arcane explosion, but deal 2 damage to all enemies. An 8 damage fireball, a 8 damage flame strike, arcane missiles, but you double it, so 6 damage randomly split. Arcane intellect for drawing another 2 cards. A free frostbolt. A 1 mana Frost Nova, a 1 mana Polymorph, and 1 mana Discover 3 random spells. So they're all very powerful. You don't get a choice. Oh wait, you do get a choice. Discover it. Okay. So at first I thought it was just random. You get a choice. So I think that there's enough. There's a small enough pool that you're gonna find probably something that you want. So if you're looking for like a board clear, you've got Explosion, which obviously isn't nearly as strong as the Flame Strike, but you got that. Maybe you want to go with the missiles. Maybe you want to polymorph 1 big minion. Same with the Fireball. Draw a bunch of cards, a free freeze the entire board for 1 mana, and there's a lot of options, and I think it's pretty good. So I actually think Malygos Aspect of Magic by itself is extremely powerful. And I think that the dragon archetype in Mage always kind of fits in pretty well. It just seemed like it was one of the better ones. So because of that, I'm hovering around 4 or 5 stars. I think it's very, very powerful. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to go 5 stars because I think that this dragon mage can be very good. So I'm going to give this also the 5 stars. Chenvala, 3 mana, 2/5 elemental. After you cast 3 spells in a turn, summon a 5/5 elemental. Yeah, it's powerful, and it has the opportunity to, really fill up the board kind of crazy with the whole mini spell mage. I don't know what the hell it's called, but you just play a lot of small spells. A lot of opportunities, Sorcerer's Apprentice into, with this guy on the board, and you drop all of the the free cards, basically. You can get a pretty good board going, right? Now, my thing is, how many spells are you going to be a throw out? So you're going to get a 3-mana 5/5 plus a 2/5 body is probably the best shot. Maybe later on in the game, right? You'll be able to do something crazy like get 2 or 3 5/5s, right? I mean, I don't know how you're going to cast 9 spells to get 3 5/5s on the board in one turn, but possibly you could. I'm not really blown away by this guy. I know it's powerful, but personally, I'm just not blown away by it, so I'm going to give it the 3 stars. Pretty sure that's going to be the guy that's going to annoy me this expansion, though. Like, I feel like a lot of times when I underrate something or I'm like, I'm not blown away by it. That's what freaking just destroys me when I'm playing the game. And it's got Mana Giant, 8-mana, 8 elemental, cost 1 less for each card you've played this game that didn't start in your deck. Pretty cool that it's an 8 costing giant. We haven't seen that. I think the lowest we've seen is 10. And cost 1 less for each card you've played this game that didn't start in your deck. I mean, Mage does have opportunities for it, but it's not as good as it used to be. So I think that there's, some pretty good stuff. There are some new cards that do add on to it. So I think it's okay. I'll give it the 3 stars. It's close to 4, but I'm just not sure how many cards you're going to generate if you want to build your deck around like the random card generation right about now. Rolling Fireball, 5-mana spell, deal 8 damage to a minion. Any excess damage continues to the left or right. I think it's pretty cool. A little board clear action. Hit a guy, and so if you got like a small guy you want to hit, it does. I'm thinking this is how it works. You hit a minion. Say it's got 6 health. It does the 6 damage. Then there's 2 minions to the right of it. So like, let's say there's 3 minions on the board. You hit the guy with 6 health. It goes to the right, and it does 1 damage to that. And then it goes to the right and does 1 damage to that. I think that's what it would do. But if it's more of like this, it does 6 damage, and then it does 1, and then that's it. Because it doesn't continue onwards, then it makes it a little worse. But I don't believe it was on the stream. I don't know, though. I didn't pay too close attention. I don't even remember what the hell they played, to be honest. But yeah, I personally think this is like a 4-star card. I think it's powerful enough. Then we got Dragon Cast, 6-mana, 4/4 Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, your next spell this turn costs 0. I love this card. One of the reasons why I think Malygos, the aspect of Magic, is going to be, good enough to drop 5 stars on, because I also think that this card is insane. You could play, the Puzzle Box, the Oxron, Pyroblast, the Power of Creation, 8-mana spell. You get 2 6-drops for free. You get a 4/4 plus 2 6-drops for free. Yeah, that's nuts, right? I really love this card. So I'm actually going to give it 5 stars also. I think it's that good. Arcane Breath, 1-mana spell, deal 2 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, discover a spell. Another phenomenal card for that dragon deck. So it's getting 5 stars. I mean, deal 2 damage plus you discover a spell on top of that. That's insane. So 5 stars it goes. Elemental Allies, 1-mana side quest. Play an elemental 2 turns in a row. Reward, draw 3 spells from your deck. Really powerful reward. But I don't know how easy it is to drop 2 elementals in a row. I was looking at the elementals, and not too easy to curve it in. If you're playing too many elementals, then you reduce the spells that you draw. I don't really care for this that much. I know it's a powerful effect, and I know that the card, down below here, there is a small minion that is an elemental that would work great for this. You could play it in turn 1 and turn 2 or something like that, but I personally am not really sold on it. I do think it's, an okay card, but I'm not like blown away, so I'll give it 3 stars. Learn Draconic, 1-mana side quest, spend 8 mana on spells, Reward, summon a 6/6 dragon. So basically, it's just a 1 mana 6/6. You're pretty much guaranteed to spend 8 mana. It's good. Once again, it's not really blowing me away. But yeah, you're guaranteed to spend it. It's kind of like the Druid one where you're guaranteed to spend 10 mana on a thing and get a free minion. Maybe this is actually even better than the Druid one, and I'm underrating it because, I mean, 8 mana versus 10 mana, a 6/6 body, guaranteed 6/6 body versus, like I said, if you pay 1 mana for a 3/4, it's still not bad. So getting 1 mana 6/6 is just phenomenal. So now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, maybe it's a little better than what I am initially thinking. So I'm gonna give it 4 stars actually. Final 2 is Violent Spellwing. 1 mana, 1/1 elemental with Death Rattle. Add an Arcane Missiles spell to your hand. Phenomenal card. You know, another one of those like almost auto includes into Mage. Just works out great. But yeah, I mean, very good. I don't know if it fits into the Dragon archetype. We'll see. It's pretty good though. So we'll see. I'm going to give it 4 stars just because I do think it's going to be in a lot of stuff, but I think the Dragon archetype is going to be the most powerful mage. And I think that the most powerful mage may cut this card because you're going to be kind of freezing the board, stalling, and waiting until you play the bigger guys, right? That's kind of my thought. I don't really know, though. So we'll see. And finally, as your Explorer 4 mana 2/3 Dragon, just like I said, a lot of the cards are like this kind of stat line where got like the 2/3 stats, but 3 or 4 mana is roughly what it is in Battlecry. Discover a dragon, but you also get spell damage +2. I think it's awesome. I think you're going to be dropping it into the Dragon archetype. I think this is a little weaker than, like, obviously the Dragon Caster or Malagos, but it's still very powerful. And just because of how sold I am on the Dragon archetype for Mage, I'm probably going to actually give it 5 stars. So I mean, I think I'm overrating these dragons probably. I don't trust my instinct. I feel like this is very powerful. I think that you even maybe put in the Learn Draconic in there. You get all the dragons going, drop in the big spells, you're freezing stuff, possibly, but we'll see. So I do like the Dragon Mage. We'll see how it comes about. Paladin, as we all know, my favorite class. We have Nozdormu, the Timeless. I can never say the damn name. I don't know why. 4 mana 8/8 dragon. Battlecry set each player's to 10 mana crystals. Cool effect, but the thing I don't like is that you give the opponent the 10 mana crystals first. So you play this in turn 4. You don't get 6 more mana crystals to play with, or 10 mana crystals, or whatever, right? They get to play with them. Unless the guy who played on stream played him and messed up, because that's all he played that turn. But that's what it seems like. Seems like you played Nozdormu and that's it. So that to me makes him a little worse. Obviously, stat wise, I mean, 4 mana 8 is amazing. But then if next turn your guy's playing 10 mana worth of stuff, makes it a little different. I don't know. So kind of on the fence here. I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. Dragon Rider Taritha. 3 mana 3/3 Death Rattle. Give a dragon in your hand +3/+3 and this Death Rattle. I really love this. It just continuously gets buffed. It's like that Valanyr. I don't know what the hell it's called. I don't remember the name of it. I don't even know how to say it right now. It's like VALYNR or something like that. I think that's how it was. Whatever. It's the Paladin weapon. They gave +4/+2 when it was destroyed. And it gave a minion in your hand that. So it kind of continues onwards. So I think that this is very powerful. And I think Dragon's got a chance in Paladin. Pretty good chance. I think that you can continue this onward and buff up the guys with the Dragon Caller. I believe it's called the 5 mana 3/5 guy that gets +3/+3 to your hand. Yeah, I like where the Dragon archetype is in Paladin. So I actually think that Nozdormu is kind of the weaker of the bunch, just because I don't really like giving my opponent big things. The only thing that's nice about Nozdormu is maybe that's the downfall. A good thing is that what you do is you play him on like turn, and maybe that's where I'm misjudging him for the rating. But maybe what it is you play him on like turn 8, 9, 10, something like that, and you play something else on top of it. So you're getting like a real big swing, right? That could be it. So maybe he's wrong, but I'm going to stick to my guns and say 3 stars, and then Dragon Rider Taritha, get 4. Sanctuary, first 2 mana side quest that we've seen. Take no damage for a turn. Reward, summon a 3/6 minion with Taunt. Now, obviously, it's good to get a 2 mana 3/6, but taking no damage for a turn. If you top deck this is just a straight dead card. I personally don't love this. I kind of think this is like a meme. I don't think it's powerful enough, which is sad. A 2 mana 3/6 is kind of like not powerful enough in my eyes, but I just feel like the condition to take no damage for a turn, it's kind of a gamble. Yeah, on turn 1, if you coin this out, you're pretty much guaranteed a 3/6, but that's such a very specific thing that I'm not really sold on giving it more than 2 stars. Lightforge Crusader, 7 mana 7/7 Battlecry. If your deck has no neutral cards, add 5 random Paladin cards to your hand. A lot of card generation for the Paladin only deck. I guess that's what it would be called. I don't know. Paladin centric cards. I don't know what the hell you call it. But here's the thing. That's a lot of cards. You play 2 of these. I mean, a lot of the Paladin cards are kind of higher statted. So I don't know. I think this would be like a one of, and I kind of think all Paladin cards is kind of a meme. So I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Obviously, it's powerful to get 7 mana 7/7 with 5 freaking card generation. It's amazing, but I kind of think it's just a meme. Skyclaw, 3 mana 1/2 mech. Your other mechs have +1 attack. Battlecry, summon 2 1/1 microcopters. So you're getting like a 2/2/1s plus the Skyclaw, right? And I actually think that this is pretty good, mainly because of this Righteous Cause, which is the next to it, the side quest. I think Skyclaw, and you play like this swarmy mech style deck. I think that it's pretty powerful, and because of that, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Like it's pretty underwhelming when you first look at it, but it's definitely a powerful effect, and we all know how effective like swarming, tokeny decks are, especially in Paladin. So I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Righteous Cause, 1 mana spell, side quest, excuse me. Summon 5 minions, reward, give your minions +1/+1. So you get your 3 out of 5 just with Skyclaw, and you play a couple other guys. Boom, you get the side quest done. Give them +1/+1. Makes them hit harder, a little tankier. Pretty solid. I'm gonna keep it right around with Skyclaw. Give it 4 stars. Lightforge Zealot, 4 mana 4/2 Battlecry. If your deck has no neutral cards, equipped a 4/2 True Silver Champion. So this is right up there with the Lightforge Crusader. And I kind of think, just like I said before, that the only Paladin deck it's possible, but this is better than Lightforge Crusader in my opinion, because I think that generating the 5 cards, I don't know if you'll have the space for it. Where this, you're getting a True Silver Champion with a 4/2 body. It's amazing, right? But I still think it's kind of a meme, so I'm just giving it 2 stars. Sandbreath, 1 mana spell, give him a minion +1/+2, give it Divine Shield if you're holding a dragon. Not terrible, but definitely not great. I don't know why you'd play this in your dragon deck, personally. I don't think it's worth it. So it's pretty meh, and I'm going to give it 2 stars. Final 2 cards. We got Amber Watcher, 5 mana 4/6 Dragon Battlecry, restore 8 health. Solid dragon. I think it's going to be great, especially when you buff it up. And I'm going to give it 4 stars because I think that's right around where the dragon archetype for Paladin is going to be. And Bronze Explorer, 3 mana 2/3 dragon, lifesteal, Battlecry, discover a dragon. Same thing, powerful. Get the dragon, keep the synergy going, and get a lifesteal. Obviously, buff it up a bit, get some good healing also. Yeah, I'm going to give it 4 stars also. Overall, I think that Paladin is okay. Little sad. I don't think it's that fun. I think just the dragon archetype is the only thing I'm really excited about. And then Skyclaw is going to be powerful. I'm not a huge tokeny guy, but I know that this is going to be very good. So, yeah, I think Dragon Rider Taritha is the main thing that I'm excited about. So, we'll see how that ends up turning out. Priest, our first Galakrond that we get to look at. So we got to go back to here and do Galakrond. This is the Unspeakable. The Unspeakable Galakrond here, right? Just to show you guys what it is. So, Battlecry destroys one random enemy minion, and then its hero power is add a random priest minion to your hand. I did not know this, but if you invoke, you get to hear it uses the hero power no matter where the Galakrond is. So when you invoke something with, like, let's just say this guy right here, right? The Disciple of Galakrond, you get a 1/2 body along with a random priest minion to your hand. So just to put it in perspective, right? So I don't know if this link is going to show us. Okay, it does. So what it does is when you invoke it, you also get a 5/2 like claw along with killing numerous guys. Obviously this is in a different language, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But the it just shows you that you destroy one. I think it goes destroy 1, 2, and then 3 random enemy minions, and then you also, if on the final stage of Galakrond, when it grows to the maximum size or whatever, you also get a 5/2 claw randomly equipped. So you get an Arcanite Reaper for free, along with this 7 mana, 5 armor, destroy a bunch of things. Yeah, it's pretty insane. So just to let you know, spoilers, every Galakrond, in my opinion, is 5 stars. There's only one of them that's on the fence, but we'll get to that. But I think the priest one is 5 stars. So there we go. Don't really have to say too much about that. So we'll move on to the next one. Mind Flayer, Courage. I don't know. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry, choose an enemy minion. Death Rattle, summon a new copy of it. Yeah, it's not bad. Choose something powerful. Come with a copy of it. Preferably something with Death Rattle. But if not, maybe you just do something with like big stats. And there you go. I think it's solid. You know, I'm actually going to give it 4 stars just because it's basically a 3 mana 3/3 with another body attached to it. So because of that, I think it's good enough. Yeah, I think it'll definitely be played. So I'll give it 4 stars. Oh, Morozond the Infinite. I think that's how you say it. 8 mana, 8 dragon. Play all cards your opponent played last turn. So don't even have to play Dragon Priest. I think that this alone is good enough. That's pretty insane against most of anything. So if they play other minions, you get their minions also. They play spells, you get those spells. Obviously, it's pretty awesome. And especially because it's 8 mana, you know that they're playing a lot of big things. I think that this is pretty great and going to be included in most priest decks. Maybe it's a tad slow because, like, if they played some big stats and then you play this guy and you get the big stats along with the 8/8 body, they may just kill you from those big stats they just played if you don't get like a taunt or something from them. But we'll see. It's the only reason why I'm going to give it 4 stars. If not, I would have probably given it 5. Fate Weaver, 4 mana, 3/6 dragon. Battlecry, if you invoked twice, reduce the cost of cards in your hand. Obviously, great stats, great ability. Got to invoke twice though. There's not too many invokes in the game, but you're playing every single one of them no matter what. If you're playing Galakrond, you're playing every invoke card, and I think you're probably playing in every Galakrond deck. You're probably playing Fate Weaver in the Galakrond Priest. So I'm actually going to give this 4 stars just because I think maybe a little tough to invoke twice right away, but we'll see. Because Galakrond actually isn't bad even without like upgrading. It's, you know, you kill one and then you get 5 armor, right? It's not too bad, not the greatest. You get a new hero power. I don't know. Maybe you want to at least get it upgraded once. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. So I'm just going to give Fate Weaver 4 stars. Then we've got Envoy of Lazul, 2 mana, 2/2. With battle card, look at 3 cards. Guess which one is in your opponent's hand to get a copy of it. So This is like that shimmering something. 3 mana 3/3 guy. And that was played a ton. So I think this will be played a ton. Drop 1/1 for 1 mana. Yeah, I think that's definitely playable. And 2 slots have always been kind of tough for Priest, so this is a solid 2 drop. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. Timer up 5 mana, spell, destroy a minion, and invoke Galakron. So basically get a Priest minion in your hand along with destroying a minion. It's really solid, so I'm giving it 4 stars. Breath of Infinite, 3 mana spell, deal 2 damage to all minions. If you're holding a dragon, only damage enemies. Don't know how great dragons are going to be in Priest, but it's not a bad effect. Definitely not bad at all. I don't know. I'm mainly just not sold on the dragon archetype for Priest, so I'm going to give it 3 stars. Chrono Breaker, 5 mana 4/5 dragon, death rattle. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. So there's a card actually in Warlock that's better than this. And I think dragons are a little more apt in Warlock to be played. I know that Dragon Priest was a thing before, but I don't know if Dragon Priest right now in Standard is going to be as powerful. So Chrono Breaker will get 3 stars for me. Whispers of Evil, 0 mana spell, add a lackey to your hand. Solid, 3 stars. Grave Rune, 4 mana spell, give a minion death rattle, summon 2 copies of this. I actually think this is amazing. So I think this is amazing in the combo Priest with the Injured Blade Masters and Damaged Stegotrons and all that junk, right? Where you do the Divine Spirit Inner Fire stuff. Yeah, I'm giving this baby 4 stars. I think this is like one of those boring cards that just fits into something, and then you just slot it in for, this is the only new card basically. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, 4 stars. Disciple of Galakron, 1 mana 1/2, invoke Galakron. So you get a random Priest minion along with the 1/2 body for 1. Yeah, that's really powerful, and I'm gonna give it 4 stars just because I don't think that. I think that the Priest one is maybe one of the weaker Galakrons out of all of them. I think the Shaman one's probably the best, but that's just me. I think Shaman, Rogue, Priest, and Warrior. It's kind of how it goes. But I do like how Priest is probably not my go-to. I've never been a big Priest guy, so that's just me. Rogue, Galakron, the Nightmare. Gotta find him now. Galakron, the Nightmare. And there he is. So here's Galakron the Nightmare. So it's battle card, draw 1 card, it costs 0. Upgraded once, draw 2 cards. The next, draw 4 cards, they cost 0. Equipped a 5/2 claw. The hero power is add a lackey to your hand. It doesn't say it there, but that's what it is. So every time you invoke, you add a lackey to your hand, and I think that this is probably one of the better ones. Yeah, this is probably the second best one. I think Shaman may be the best one, and then Galakron, then Nightmare. So 5 stars it is, because it's Galakron. Then, anyways, going on to Wax Dread, 5 mana 7/5 dragon, death rattle. Shuffle a candle into your deck that resummons Wax Dread when drawn. I think it's cool, but don't know how great it is. I think this is like the meme experimental crap, right? So I'm gonna give it 3 stars just because I think it's a tad better than meme. It doesn't fit in Galakron, but there is a potential for it, right? And that's the only reason why. Other than that, I think it's just kind of like you're messing around. You're just trying to add as many damn candles into your deck as possible, and that doesn't work out too well, right? That's just kind of my thought. But anyways, Flick Sky Shiv, 6 mana 4/4, destroy a minion and all copies of it wherever they are. So this destroys them in your deck, their deck, on the field, in their hand, wherever, right? And it's awesome. And it reminds me of the plants, the 5 mana 3/4 with comboed destroy a minion. Just solid, Throw Assassinate in with a 4/4 body. It's good enough, It's going to be played in a ton of rogues. So I actually think that this is like a 5-star card because I think this is going to be played in like every rogue, no matter what it is. I think you just slot it in. So I'm giving it 5 stars. Umbral Skulker, 4 mana, 3/3 Battlecry. If you've invoked twice, add 3 coins to your hand. I think it's solid. You know, a lot of combo potential and stuff, but it's a lot of coins, and I don't know how often you need the coins. So just because of that, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Necrium Apothecary, 4 mana, 2/5 combo. Draw a Death Rattle minion from your deck and gain its Death Rattle. So I think this is going to be powerful later on. Maybe we add more Death Rattle minions to the game. But as of right now, it seems like Wax Dread's kind of like the thing that people are probably going to go to. Mechanical Whelp's another card that's not too bad. Yeah, there's some possibilities, but I think it's kind of that joke of the Wax Dread deck. So because of that, I'm going to give it 3 stars, just like Wax Dread. Seal Fate, 3 mana spell, deal 3 damage to an undamaged character and invoke Galakron. So you also get a lackey in your hand. Yeah, it's pretty insane. 5 stars. I actually think this is one of the better invoke cards that we've seen. So this is probably the best invoke card we've seen this far, right? So that's kind of my mentality on it. So Dragon Horde, 1 mana spell, discover a legendary minion from another class. This is kind of a meme. Don't really see this being played unless you're just messing around. So 2 stars. Stowaway, 5 mana, 4/4 Battlecry. If there are cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw 2 of them. Only problem is big counter, Bomb Warrior. If this becomes anything, if that Wax Dread deck, because obviously I think this is made for Wax Dread, what you do is you play Stowaway with Wax Dread. You draw those candles out. I don't know if you draw 2 candles, if you get 2 Wax Dreads, or if you just get 1. And you waste the other candle, right? I don't know what it works. But my thought is Stowaway, draw the candle, that's how you get Wax Dread, right? But the problem is that becomes even anything at all. You instead play a 5 mana 4/4, hit yourself in the face for 10 damage. Yeah. So because of that, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I think you may just play Wax Dread without Stowaway. That's kind of my thought. I think it's a meme. So yeah. All right, going onwards. Final 3. Praise Galakron, 1 mana spell. Give a minion +1 attack, invoke Galakron. This is pretty weak, but it is invoking Galakron, so 4 stars. Candle Breath, 6 mana spell. Draw 3 cards, cost 3 less while you're holding a dragon. I think Dragon Rogue is a joke. This is insane. 3 mana draw 3 is insane. It's better than Arcane Intellect, but the problem is I just don't see Dragon Rogue being a thing. You play Wax Dread in Rogue, you're not playing Candle Breath. I said Dreth. So yeah, I'm giving it 2 stars, even though it's an awesome card. I just don't see Dragon Rogue being anything. Bloodsail Flybooter, 1 mana 1/1 pirate to add 2 1/1 pirates to your hand. This is just a solid card. You know, combo potential, getting a little board presence. I think they mentioned it in the stream, kind of somewhat similar to Firefly, a little weaker body-wise, but yeah, I think it's going to be played all the damn time in Rogue, so I'm going to give it 5 stars. So overall, I like the Rogue archetype. I actually, in a weird way, like the Wax Dread stuff, but I think the Lackey Galakron deck is the go-to here, and it's going to be probably pretty powerful, so yeah. Shaman. Okay, so this is, in my opinion, so Galakron the Tempest is called. I think the Tempest. I think Galakron the Tempest is the strongest Galakron because I think it just fits into an already powerful deck, which is the Quest Shaman. So, and because of that, you get summon 2/2/2 storms with Rush. When you invoke it, it goes to 4/4s. And then 2 4/4s with Rush. And then the final one is 2 8/8s with Rush. And you get a 5/2 weapon, right? And the hero power is summon a 2/1 elemental with Rush. Pretty good stuff, right? 5 stars. All right. Nithhogg, 6 mana 5/5 dragon. Summon 2 0/3 eggs. Next turn, they hatch into 4/4 drakes with Rush. I don't really like this card at all. Don't know if it's going to be good or not. But to me, I personally am like really underwhelmed with it. And because of that, I'm going to actually give it 2 stars. I don't think you're going to play this almost at all. Bandersmash. 5 mana 5/5. Each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a 5/5 copy of a random legendary minion. So I actually think this is more playable than Nidhogg, which is kind of surprising because this is like straight up a meme card. But I think this is a little better than meme because I think there's like enough cards that are in the pool that you may want a 5/5 version, like a 5 mana version of a legendary. So just because of that, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Cumulo Maximus, 5 mana 5/5 elemental battlecry. If you have overloaded mana crystals, deal 5 damage. This is a Pyroblast with a 5/5 body. Think of it that way. For Quest Shaman, this is insane. I think Quest Shaman may still be one of the best decks out there. So I'm giving it 5 stars. Dragon's Pact, 5 mana spell. Summon 2/2/3 Spirit Wolves with Taunt. If you've invoked twice, give them +3/+3. Another amazing card. The only thing I think is there's potential that this doesn't make the cut. This might be like towards the this is gonna be like 28th, 29th, like 29, 30, somewhere around there card, possibly like 31, 32. There's a chance that this doesn't make it into the deck. I don't have the deck completely built. I don't remember. I built it, but I don't remember if I put it in. So I can't say for sure. But I'm going to give it 4 stars, possibly 5, if it does make that quest deck. So it is super powerful. I mean, it's amazing. And very easy to invoke twice in Shaman. So we'll see. Lightning Breath, deal 4 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, also damage its neighbors. I do think that there is possibility for Dragon Shaman to be a thing. I actually built the deck, and I'm kind of excited about playing it. It's probably my first deck I'm going to play. It's Dragon Murloc Shaman. And you kind of mix the two together, and you get some weird concoction. And it's kind of cool looking, so we'll see how it plays out. But I think this is a really powerful card, right? So you're doing 12 damage without any spell damage. And that's for 3 mana. That's obviously insane. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. Corrupt Elementalist, 5 mana 3/3, Battlecry, invoke Galakron twice. So this is a 3/3 body with 2 2/1 rushes, and you're automatically upgrading Galakron. And you automatically activate Dragon's Pact to work, right? So that one card alone does all of that. That's a 5-star card. That might be one of the best cards of the set right there. We'll see. Storm's Wrath. 1 mana spell. Give your minions +1/+1 overload by 1. This is pretty solid. I think it's good enough to play. And yeah, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Squall Hunter. 4 mana 5/7 dragon with spell damage +2 and overload 2. This is insane stats. It's going to be played pretty often. And especially in the dragon stuff. Doesn't make it into the quest Shaman, which I think actually surprisingly, even though its stats and its ability and all that crap, makes it a 4-star card, because I think that's where the dragon style Shaman is going to be. And because of that, that's why I got to rate it 4. Even though I think it's obviously strong enough to be 5, I'm giving it 4. Invocation of Frost, 1 mana spell, freeze an enemy, and invoke Galakron. So the one of my buddies pointed out to me the 3 mana 1/3 guy that targets multiple. It targets the adjacent minions also, right? So you freeze 3 guys, you invoke Galakron 3 times, and you get 3 2/1 elementals with rush. Obviously, that's powerful. The only problem I see with that part of it is the 1/3 guy worth playing? Because I think that you're only really playing Invocation of Frost that targets a minion with a spell. And because of that might not be worth it. But by itself, it's definitely not nearly as good as the 5 mana 3/3 guy, the Corrupt Elementalist, right? So I'm going to give it 5 just because I think the Galakron Shaman is literally going to be the best deck in the game. That's just my opinion. And but I do think this is the weakest invoke for Shaman here. Surging Tempest, 1 mana, 1/3 elemental, has +1 attack while you have overloaded mana crystals. So I think this is an amazing stat line. Works great with a bunch of cards. And the only problem is I don't think it fits into that Quest Shaman. I think Quest Shaman's better than the other Shamans that are going to be. So I'm going to give it 4 stars just because of that. Because I think it'll fit more into that Dragon Overload style thing. Overall, I think Shaman is insane. I think Shaman's going to reign supreme once again. But I actually am excited about Shaman in this one. Warlock, Galakron the Wretched. Let's look that baby up. Galakron the Wretched. So Galakron the Wretched, it summons a demon and it invokes to summon 2 demons, and I think the third one maybe summon 4. I don't know. It might be 3 or 4. Whatever. It doesn't matter really. But the hero power is you get 2 1/1 imps. So it's kind of like the upgraded version of a paladin. And oops, I messed up. So I'm going to do this really quickly. Anyways, so I still think it's 5 stars because of being Galakron, and I do think that the Warlock is powerful. I personally just don't like the way it is. It's Zoo Warlock basically for Galakron, and for myself, I'm not a huge Zoo player. So yeah. Valdris, Fellgorge, 7 mana 4/4 Battlecry, increase your maximum hand size to 12 and draw 4 cards. This is amazing for the handlock style. I just don't know how great handlock's going to be, but I do think the handlock's going to be decent, so I'll give it 3 stars. Zeraku the Warped, 8 mana 4/12 Dragon. Whenever your hero takes damage, summon a 6/6 Nether Drake. So I don't think this really matters in where it is. I think it's good enough to be played in most decks. Dragon, not dragon, handlock, not handlock, whatever, right? It's just powerful. It's because you do a 4/12 body plus a 6/6 Nether Drake for 10 mana, and you draw a card, essentially. So that alone makes me think that this card is going to be played in most Warlocks. Don't know how crazy Warlock's going to be, but I'm going to give this a safer play of 4 stars. Veiled Worshipper, 4 mana 5/4 Battlecry. If you've invoked twice, draw 3 cards. This is obviously very powerful. The only thing, like I said, is I feel like the invoke cards for Warlock are some of the weakest. And because of that, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Dark Skies, 3 mana spell. Deal 1 damage to a random minion. Repeat for each card in your hand. Powerful, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of this. And it hits your own minions too. It's just like, I don't know. It's not for me. I'm pretty sure we've had a card like this. It was a 3 mana spell that just randomly hit stuff. This just changed from characters to minions. It's based on your hand size rather than just doing 9 damage one at a time. I don't know. I think it's okay. I'm going to give it 3 stars. Dragonblade Cultist, 3 mana 1/1 Battlecry Invoke. Galakron gain +1 attack for each other friendly minion. So you are guaranteed to get 3 mana 3/1. Thing is, it doesn't grow in health and it can be pinged down. I think this is actually pretty bad. The only reason why it has anything that redeems it at all is it has Invoke in it. Because of that, 4 stars. Nether Breath, 2 mana spell with deal 2 damage. If you're holding a dragon, deal 4 damage with lifesteal instead. I actually think that Dragon Warlock is possible because Zeraku the Warped, the 8 mana 4/12 dragon that we talked about earlier, and then the Crazed Netherwing that's right next to it is they're pretty insane. So I think that you're going to probably build handlock style dragon. The only reason why I gave Valdris a 3-star because I don't even know if that fits into the dragon one. I don't think it matters too much, but we'll see. So I'm actually going to give the Nether Breath a 4 stars. Raise Another Wing, 5 mana 5/5 dragon. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all other characters. This is the one that I compared to with the priest one. It's a 5 mana 4/5, but death rattle. This one's just straight up better. And because of that, I'm going to give this 4 stars too. I think that's where the dragon warlock falls into. Fiendish Rites, 3 mana spell, invoke Galakron, give your minions +1 attack. I think this is also pretty weak, and I'm giving it 4 stars just because it invokes Galakron. Abyssal Summoner, 6 mana 2/2 Battlecry, summon a demon with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. So for hand lock, I think that this is definitely playable. As I said, I don't know if the what the hell is his name again? Valdris is good enough to make it, but even still, you get 6 cards in your hand. You get a 6/6 and a 2/2 next to it, so 8/8 worth of stats for 6. I think it's good enough. I think it will be played in that. I think it fits into probably that dragon deck, so I'll give it 4 stars. Rain of Fire, 1 mana spell, deal 1 damage to all characters. I don't know where you use this at all. Trying to think of what you do. Blood Mace Thalanos, obviously, for 2 damage AoE, card draw, but this doesn't. To me, this doesn't seem very good. Unless you're getting. Here's the thing. It all depends on how crazy the aggro game is, and I don't think it's going to be crazy. So to me, I'm gonna take the wild swing and say it's trash and 1 star. But I don't really care about this Galakron that much. Personally, it's my least favorite, but I know it's powerful. I personally like the dragon archetype for Darku and Crazy Netherwing, Nether Breath. That's where I'm going with dragon. So for myself, we're looking at hand lock dragon style. But I'm sure you'll see a lot of aggressive token warlock. Now we're into warrior, so we got Galakron the Unbreakable. Galakron the Unbreakable. So this is probably the worst one. So it goes to draw 1 minion, give it +1/+4, draw 2, give it +4/+4, draw 4 minions, give them +4/+4, and you equip the 5/2 claw. Hero power is give your hero +3 attack this turn. I think that the reason why this is one of the weakest is this hero power. The hero power to me doesn't seem anything crazy, but drawing obviously minions, giving +4/+4 is pretty cool. So yeah, this is where it's tough. I'm tempted to give the warrior a 4 star Galakron because I don't think this is even close to how you're going to play this warrior. Possibly you will, but I think that you're probably going to play Dragon Warrior or Pirate Warrior way over Galakron. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. I know it's powerful, and I gave all the other ones 5 because I do think that they are way more playable than this one. So we'll see why too. I think the class cards are pretty weak also. So we'll see. Now Deathwing Mana Aspect. 8 mana 12/12 dragon, attack all other minions. This is insane stat wise. I think this will definitely be played in the Dragon Warrior, and I think the Dragon Warrior is right around 4 stars, so that's where I'm going to fit it. 4 stars. Ankar, 3 mana 2/3 weapon. After your hero attacks, draw a pirate from your deck. Guys, this is stupid broken, okay? 3 mana 2/3 weapon, draw 3 cards is essentially what it says, right? And there's other cards for you guys to get excited about, so I'm not going to ruin it, but there's another reason why that this is like stupid amazing, right? This is a 5-star card. I think Pirate Warrior and the Shaman, Quest Shaman, are the 2 decks to beat. So that's just my opinion. There's a lot of cards for my reasoning of why Pirate Warrior is that good, but you'll see. Sign of Ruin, 3 mana 3/2 dragon, rush battlecry. If you've invoked twice, summon 2 copies of this. I think this is actually one of the cards that make Galakron the Unbreakable playable, like why it's better, but I don't think it saves it enough, so I'm going to give it 4 stars because I don't think that Galakron's... Actually, I'm gonna reverse. Okay, this is a hot take here. Okay, because I'm basing it on where I think the decks are gonna lay. I think that the Galakrond the Unbreakable is worse than Dragon Warrior, and I think it's also worse than Pirate Warrior. I think it's like a 3-star thing, right? So I'm giving Galakrond the Unbreakable 3 stars, and Sign of Rune, even though it's freaking phenomenal, I'm giving it also 3 stars, just because I don't think that Invoking is very good in Warrior. So yeah. Ramming Speed. I like this card artwork. 3-mana spell, force a minion to attack one of its neighbors. It's okay. I don't think it'll be played much, so I'm gonna give it 2 stars. One breath. Deal 5 damage to a minion if you're holding a dragon. Gave 5 armor. Problem is, I think the dragon is about 4 stars. I don't know if this fits into the dragon deck. I think it's close though, so I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Ritual Chopper, 2-mana 1/2, Battlecry, Invoke Galakrond. So basically, what this is a 2-mana 4/2 first, and then a 2, and then so it has 4 attack at first, and then it has 1 attack. I don't think that's very good at all, which is why I'm giving it 3 stars. That's why I don't think this Galakrond's really that great. Skybarge, 3-mana 2/5 mech after you summon a pirate. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy. This is insane. This is right up there for top cards of the set, right? And this is your ship's cannon at 3 mana with a little bit bigger body. It's mech. You can magnetize it. I don't think you're going to, but you can. And yeah, this is insane. 5 stars. Easily. I think that Pirate Warrior is like either first or second best, so we'll see. Evil Quartermaster, 3-mana 2/3, Battlecry, add a lackey to your hand, gain 3 armor. I think it's okay. I don't think it's be played too much, so I'll give it 3 stars. Sky Raider, 1-mana 1/2, Pirate, Battlecry, add a random pirate to your hand. Pirate Warrior is going to be, I think, one of the best, so 5 stars. Awaken, 3-mana spell, Invoke Galakrond, deal 1 damage to all minions. I'm giving it 3 stars because I don't think that's going to be good. Overall, Warrior, I think that is going to be very strong because of Pirate Warrior. Other than that, I think Dragon Warrior is going to be fun, but I don't really care for Galakrond at all. Go into neutrals. Sathrovar, we've already had it. We've been messing around with it. I think it's solid. I don't know how many decks that actually use it too well. I've messed around with it. It's cool. It's fun. Is it real? Is it a real deck? Can you make something real with it? I don't know. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. I think it's okay. Shuma, 7-mana 1/7. At the end of your turn, fill your board with 1/1 tentacles. Kind of think this is a meme. I don't think that you're going to do too well. This obviously doesn't have a good thing, but works great with like the whole flooding the board and like Bloodlust Shaman or Savage Roar or Druid. Possible, but I'm thinking meme, so 2 stars. Kronk's Dragonhoof, 6-mana 6/6 Battlecry, draw Galakrond, and if you're already Galakrond, unleash a devastation. I once got messed up, so we got to go back here. So what the hell? How do you spell this shit? Kronk's Dragonhoof. Well, I guess I could have just remembered Kronk's and it probably would have come up. So Kronk's is cards here is Decimate. Deal 5 damage to the enemy hero and restore 5 health to your hero. Summon an 8 dragon with Taunt. Give your minions +2/+2 or deal 5 damage to all other minions. These are insane. So this card is absolutely nuts. And it draws your Galakrond or does one of these effects. Auto include into every Galakrond deck there is, so 5 stars. Dragon King Alexstrasza, 9-mana 8/8 dragon. If your deck has no duplicates, add 2 random dragons to your hand. They cost 0. Highlander, I don't know how viable it is, but this is extremely powerful. So I think just because of that we have a very good chance to see. I mean, Zephyr's is amazing. Dragon Queen Alexstrasza is amazing. I think this is where you'll see a lot of possibilities and deck creation to be made. So 4 stars it is. Fritz Kindle Roost. Pretty awesome card. 4-mana 5/4. Battlecry, reduce the cost of dragons in your deck by 2. If you're playing dragons, this is an auto include. I think it's so powerful, you're going to see this everywhere. I'm going to give it 5 stars. Chromatic Egg, 5 mana, 0/3 battlecry. Secretly discover a dragon hatch into Death Rattle hatch. So basically, you discover a dragon. That's what the egg, bursts into when it dies. I think this is the problem. It's it's like a high cost card, and there's enough dragons in the pool now that aren't as good that makes this worse. So I don't think it's worth it. I think it's more of a meme. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Transmogrifier, 2 mana, 2/3. After you draw a card, transfer into a random legendary minion. This is a meme, 2 stars. Cobalt Sticky Fingers, 5 mana, 4/4 pirate battlecry. Steal your opponent's weapon. This is all dependent on the meta. If there's a lot of weapons out there, you're playing this in a lot of the decks, right? If there's not weapons out there, you're not playing them. So I'm actually gonna give it 4 stars because I think that there's a good enough chance with the Galakron's invoking all the way up, and the Pirate Warrior specifically, that I think that you may want to throw him into your decks. So 4 stars. Dreadraven, 3 mana, 3/4 beast, has +3 tech for each other Dreadraven you control. I think this is a meme. It's a good card, cool. There's possibilities for boosting it up, but for now, I'm giving it 2 stars. Tentacled Menace, 5 mana, 6/5 battlecry. Each player draws a card and swap their cost. It's a meme card, 2 stars. Wormwrist Purifier, 2 mana, 3/2 battlecry. Transform all neutral cards in your deck into random cards from your class. So I guess this is a way you could play neutral cards in your deck and still utilize that, like for that paladin, the all paladin thing. But other than that, I think it's a meme, 2 stars. Blowtorch Saboteur, 3 mana, 3/4. Your opponent's next hero power costs 3. It's a pack filler. I don't think it's going to be played at all. I'm going to give it 1 star. Grizzled Wizard, 2 mana, 3/2 battlecry. Swap hero powers with your opponent until your next turn. That's a meme, 2 stars. Skyfin, 5 mana, 3/3 Murloc. Battlecry if you're holding a dragon, summon 2 random Murlocs. This is one of the cards I'm super excited about. This is one of the reasons why I built that Shaman, that Dragon Murloc style. I think this is awesome, actually. I actually think that this is like super playable. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. Dragon Breeder, 2 mana, 2/3 battlecry. Choose a friendly dragon, add a copy of it to your hand. Might be the best card artwork of the set. And excited to see the golden, but don't think it's that great, sadly. So I think it's okay though. Maybe it gets slotted in afterwards. Like maybe we want something, but as of right now, I'm kind of like leaning more towards it's a meme. So yeah, Depth Charge, 1 mana, 0/5, and at the start of your turn, deal 5 damage to all minions. This is like a smaller version of Doomsayer, so we got 2 of them now. And I think that this gets played in with the Freeze Mage. So now you have more chances to get like Doomsayer style card. Only problem is there's a lot of big boys now, and the big boys probably have more than 5 health, like the dragons and stuff, so it might not kill everything. It's the only reason why I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Other than that, I think it's like 4 stars. Bad Luck Albatross, I love this card. 3 mana, 4/3 beast, shuffle 2 1/1 Albatross into your opponent's deck. Reminds me of the Weasels, the Weasel Tunneler, right? But problem is I don't know where this fits. I really like the card, but I just don't know where it fits, so I think it's a meme. So I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Cobalt Spellkin, 5 mana, 3/3. 5 mana, 3/5 dragon. Add 2 1-cost spells from your class to your hand. I think it's pretty powerful. It's mainly powerful in certain classes. Some classes do not have good 1-cost spells, and that's the only reason why I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Faceless Corruptor, 5 mana, 5/4 rush battlecry. Transfer one of your minions into a copy of this. So this is basically 5 mana, 10 damage worth of rush. Okay, so this is insane. I really like this. It works great with the with obviously tokens, anything small. So I think you play this in any of your like kind of small minion based decks, and I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Dragon Maw Poacher, 4 mana, 4/4 battlecry. If your opponent controls a dragon, gain +4/+4 and rush. This is very dependent, obviously, on the meta. If dragons become a thing, this card becomes an auto-include in almost every deck. And early on, I think you are guaranteed to play it because I think everybody's going to be experimenting with dragons. So for now, I'm going to give it 4 stars. It could go up to 5, though, depending on where the battle lands. Zildrak Ritualist, 4 mana, 3/9 taunt, battlecry, summon 3 1-cost minions for your opponent. I think that's too big of a drawback, and it's kind of trash. So I'm going to give it 1 star. Horde Pillager, 4 mana, 4/2 pirate, equipped one of your destroyed weapons. This is what I'm talking about. Pirate Warrior, get your Ankar back, and just start hacking away so you can get all your pirates in your hand. This is stupid powerful for Pirate Warrior. So 5 stars to Horde Pillager. Utgard Grapple Sniper. I think that's how you say that. 6 mana, 5/5 battlecry. Both players draw a card. If it's a dragon, summon it. I think it's okay. Don't think it's a meme, but it's kind of a gamble because you really don't want your opponent to play a dragon for free. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. Shield Galakrond, 5 mana, 4/5 taunt, battlecry, invoke Galakrond. The neutral, I think that because it's neutral Galakrond stuff, this is better than actually the class ones. And it's included into all of those decks. So I'm actually thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna give it 4 stars. I'm gonna play it a little safer. I don't think it's like 5-star category. I think it's definitely played though. Evasive Draconoid. So I don't think that people are probably going to rate this very high. I don't know why. I feel like this is like something that's gonna be overlooked. But Sogoth was played in not too often because of the mana cost, but it was very powerful if played and cheated out, right? So I think Invasive Draconoid actually is playable. You can get it down to a 5 mana 7/7 with Fritz, and then you can buff it up and stuff like that. I mean, it's very hard for them to deal with. They have to pretty much hit it with a minion, or they have to play Crowd Roaster and hit it, which may be popular, which may make this guy not as powerful. So we'll see. But I'm thinking actually it's like a 4-star card. I think this is like one of the better dragons you play. Twin Tyrant, 8 mana, 4/10 dragon. Battlecry, deal 4 damage to 2 random enemy minions. I think this also is a little better. It's not just an arena card. Amazing for arena, but I think this is actually playable. And but I don't think it's as good as Evasive Draconoid. It may be close to it, so I think it's like high 3s. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Devoted Maniac, 4 mana, 2/2 rush, battlecry, invoke Galakrond. This is, I think, better than the 5 mana 4/5 taunt one, but I'm still just gonna give it 4 stars. Camouflage, Dirigible. I don't know how the fuck to say it. 6 mana 6/6 mech, battlecry, give your other mech stealth until your next turn. I don't know how. I think it's too slow, personally. I don't really know why you do that, so I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I think it's a meme. Hot Air Balloon, 1 mana 1/2 mech. At the start of your turn, gain +1 health. I actually think that's I don't think it's very good by itself, but in a certain deck I think it's very powerful, and I think it's in Paladin, and because of that I'm gonna actually give it 4 stars. I think it's very powerful in the Paladin mech deck. Platebreaker, 5 mana 5/5, destroy your opponent's armor. Hey, if Druid or a Warrior get out of hand with their armor and they're getting crazy armor gain, we just throw in Platebreaker. So it's based on the meta, so I'll give it 3 stars. Visit Chimera, 2 mana 2/1 poisonous, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Well, we've had something better than this, and it's 1 mana 2 mana 1/1 with stealth, because obviously the damage doesn't matter, so this doesn't really matter, and that wasn't played at all. So I think this is just trash. 1 star. Firehawk, 3 mana 1/3 elemental, gain +1 attack for each card in your opponent's hand. It doesn't matter, it only has 3 health. I don't think it's going to be played at all. I think it's trash. 1 star. Hippogriff, 4 mana 2/6 beast, rush, taunt. It's got decent stats, so I think it's a chance to play it in maybe like classic style hunter. But realistically, I don't think it's that important, so I'm going to give it the 1 star category. Trash. Global Glide Tech, 3 mana 3/3 battlecry. If you control a mech, gain +1/+1 and rush. This is pretty insane. A 4/4 with rush for 3 mana. So yeah, I do think this fits into those mech decks. We'll see where that goes. I'm initially thinking Paladin, so I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Gyrocopter, 6 mana 4/5 mech, rush, and Wind Fury. Not bad actually, and I think it's better than what people would give it, but I don't think it makes it into really almost any list. But I'm not going to give it the trash stats because I do think that it's decent enough. So I'll give it 2 stars. Living Dragon Breath, 3 mana, 3/4 elemental. Your minions can't be frozen unless Freeze Mage becomes a really big thing. I don't see why you'd play this, and because of that, I'm gonna give it 1 star. But Freeze Mage becomes a thing, and then yeah, it kind of fits in, right? Tasty Flyfish. This is another one of the reasons why I built that Murloc Dragon Shaman. 2 mana, 2/2 Murloc. Death Rattle, give a dragon in your hand, +2/+2. I'm only going to give this because of the Shaman. And because if it wasn't for the Shaman, I don't think it's playable almost at all. But I'm going to give it 3 stars just because of the Dragon Murloc Shaman. I don't think the Dragon Murloc Shaman is going to be that great. I think it's going to be good enough to where it's not a meme. Blazing Battle Mage, 1 mana, 2/2, just neutral. That's all it is. I actually think it's better than what people will think. And I think it kind of fits into, as we've seen in the stream, the Pirate Warrior, is you just maybe want a little aggressive style card to fit in the early game. So I'm actually going to give this 4 stars because I think it fits in enough decks to be played. Parachute Brigand, 2 mana, 2/2 pirate. After you play a pirate, summon this minion from your hand. You don't ever have to play this. Don't play it. Just leave it in your hand and then play a pirate. It comes out for free. This card's stupid. It's like patches from your hand. It's 5 stars. This is Pirate Warrior is gonna be stupid. Evasive Feywing, 4 mana, 5/4 dragon, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. I think it's solid, but not one of the best. So yeah, I think it's good though. I think this is a dragon you can definitely fit in though. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Big ol' whelp. I love this guy. Look at him. 5 mana, 5/5 dragon, battlecry, draw card. I think it's solid. I think it's definitely will be messed around with and played. Don't know how great, but I think it's good enough to definitely play a little bit. So 3 stars. Scale Rider, 3 mana, 3/3 battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, deal 2 damage. Neutral SI agent right here. Only thing is I don't know if it fits into the dragon deck. I don't know if it makes the cut. So because of that, I'm gonna actually give it 2 stars for meh. It's just sad, but that's what it gets. Evasive Worm. 6 mana, 5/3 dragon, Divine Shield Rush, can't be targeted by spells or hero power. Yeah, I think this card's better also than people will give it. And I think this is going to be played very often. Even at 6 mana, I think it's decent enough because it can't be targeted by spells or hero powers too. So I'm going to give it 4 stars. Wing Commander, 4 mana, 2/5, has +2 attack for each dragon in your hand. You're giving your opponent some knowledge of your deck, your hand, whatever. And I personally don't think it makes the cut. I don't think it's good enough. And I don't think it will be played almost at all in any dragon deck. So 1 star. Troll Bat Rider, 4 mana, 3/3 battle cry, deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. Actually not too bad, but don't know if it fits. We'll see. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. I think it's okay, but just don't 100% know where it fits into right now. Probably into the Shaman, but we'll see. That's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We'll see what I get wrong, get right, whatever. I'm going to have the upload of my decks I've created so far, going over them. And I'm going to probably create some more too. So stick around. I'll see you next time. Have a great one.